Let's welcome in Brian Hayes and Bruce Boudreau. So the Bruins couldn't finish off the Leafs in Game 5. It was their 5th straight loss with a chance to eliminate an opponent. Bruce, how much do you think these past failures are going to start weighing on the Bruins as this series continues?
Well, you know what? They might have opened Pandora's box by allowing them, the Leafs, to win last game. I mean, to me, right now, there's got to be doubt in their mind. I mean, they lost Game 5 last year in overtime, and they're going into Game 6. And if I'm the Leafs, I'm going, man, we can make them really feel that there's no chance for them to win if we win Game 6, and then it's a one-game series. In Boston's defense here, I mean, I don't know why they changed their lineup. I don't know why they did any of that, but they looked nervous in Game 5. Their first period was horrible. They gave away the puck all night long. And for the first time in the series, Marchand the Leafs were getting under his skin. And all of a sudden, he's taking penalties. So I'm telling you right now, if the Leafs come out and they take it to the Bruins in Game 6, Game 7, anybody can win.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Bruce. I think the way the Bruins played in Game 5 is probably answering your question, Glenn. I think it's human nature that they have to have some doubt creeping in at this point for a few different reasons. One, Joseph Woll, I think, represents a different look as well, right? Like the nature of the goaltending position, the Leafs going from Samsonov to Woll and him playing the way he played last night, that is certainly something the Bruins will be thinking about. They've been very comfortable at Scotiabank Arena, but history and probability would suggest at some point the Leafs are going to win at home, and that very well could be the case tomorrow night. And I think most importantly, from a self-reflection perspective for the Bruins, it just happened to them last year, and they're a worse team. They know it. Bergeron's not here. Krejci's not here. Orlov's not here. There's a Taylor Hall, Bertuzzi. There's a lot of guys that were on that team a year ago that absolutely choked that away to the Panthers that are not here this year. So I think the Bruins are also aware they're simply not as good of a team as they were when they fell to the Panthers a year ago.
So in Game 5, the Leafs without Austin Matthews. We don't know his status for Game 6, but the key pieces to the win were 21-year-old Matthew Knies and the sophomore goaltender Joseph Woll. Brian, how important was it for the Leafs in the long term that the kids stepped up here in a big moment?
I think it's really significant, Glenn, because they're still behind the 8 ball here, right? If they lose in Game 6, if they lose in Game 7, ultimately for the veterans, for the coaching staff, for management, this will be a negative storyline. This will be a failure. But you want to get some sort of positive out of every single playoff run, and I think they got that last night. Matthew Knies was really good in the playoffs last year before he got knocked out against Florida. He's been good so far. He was great last night. And Joseph Woll, he is going to be here in the future. I don't think Samsonov will be unless something drastic changes between now and the Cup final or into the summer. I think Joseph Woll has a really good opportunity here to run with this and go into next season with a real opportunity to be a true number one. So I think in terms of the short term, obviously it was massive. They contributed significantly to the Leafs actually getting the win and extending the series. But in terms of the long term, right, they can think that way when you talk about Knies, Woll. These are not Marlies. These are not one-hit wonders. These are not guys that are fighting for position next year. These are glue guys. These are core pieces that are going to be a big part of their future. I think it was really significant that they played the way they played last night.
Bruce, it's still a steep hill to climb here for Toronto, and tough to imagine the Leafs winning the series if they can't get this power play sorted out. If you were behind the Leafs bench, what would you be doing here to change things up?
Well, you know, it's hard to say change things up because the first 3 games they didn't have Nylander, and the last game they didn't have Matthews. So they have been changing it up consistently. Now, if they get Matthews back, they can get back to normal. But the thing they have to do is one of the things they're not doing is they're not spending enough time in the zone, okay? And I think they're 15th in the league in zone time on the power play, and they're 15th in retrievals. So, I mean, what they have to do is they have to win the battles. Every time there's a loose puck, they got to be jumping to it, and they cannot wait all day to set up. They have to attack the boxes and shoot pucks. They got to keep it simple. And when I've seen the Leafs do a really good job during the course of the year is they surround the net, they play to the inside of the defense, and they get pucks on net and they get rebounds, and that's how they score. Usually, if you can just remember how many times that the Nylander or Marner or even Morgan Riley down low would get the puck and Matthews would be open to the side and they'd give him that easy one-time chance. They're not getting that this series because they're not winning the battles. If they get to play to the inside, shoot pucks, and win the battles, they will get opportunities to score, and they're so skilled they will score if they get those chances.
Yeah, I might suggest an exorcism at some point, considering the way things are going right now. But if that's not an option for Sheldon Keefe and company, find Nylander. If Matthews isn't going to play or he's not at 100%, there's one guy in that power play that is a threat to shoot the puck, and it's Nylander. It's not Riley. It's not Marner. Tavares isn't going to have enough time and space. Find William Nylander.
Could be another low-scoring game in Game 6 back in Toronto. This Leafs offense is yet to break out. And after Tuesday's game, Woll and Swayman are now ranked first and second in the playoffs in save percentage.